Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to try out the free procedural shader that I did for Patreon, um, which is the cement rock shader node that can be used for materials in Blender cycles. I think it could also work in Eve since it only provides displacement and bump detail. Okay, so what I'm planning to do in this video is create a kind of like primitive slash sci-fi melee weapon. So kind of like a blunt weapon, like a mace slash axe thingy. Okay, so the rack will be the rack part will be the um the killing side of the weapon, or the killing part of the weapon. Okay, so I'm going to switch to individual origins, and so I can scale these faces individually like that, and this will be the rock part of the weapon. So this part here, since I'm going to attach it to the handle, I'm going to create a temporary edge, which I will bevel again, or temporary edges, which I will bevel again, and then extract. So Shift D to duplicate and Alt S to kind of flatten or offset it from the source mesh. Then I'm going back to the okay, separate first. P to separate and selection. I'm going back uh, to the work mesh or the source mesh, deleting this temporary edges. Now I can go back to this part here and model the handle and the connection yeah, model the handle and the part where the weapon actually attaches to the handle. Okay, so I'm going to mirror this in the X, Y, and Z. No, X, Y. Okay, and here. So in here, when you add Control R to add an edge cut. So if I want to copy the shape of this edge here, just press E, and then you can see the red dot here. You can flip it. So right now it's copying this profile here. So if you want to flip it, press F. Now I'm copying this shape here or direction. Okay, and extrude to the middle, and you can see there's a face there. X and F. We need to basically delete that. Now we can model the handle. Okay, just really simple stuff. Really simple shapes. And in here, I'm going to selecting this vert. You can either cursor to select it, add a cylinder, or if you have creative flow, you can just select this vert and add a intercept object cylinder, and then resize. There we go. So, to the z-axis and then scale, and extrude again. So I'm just gonna save this as blunt weapon. So I'm recording now in window mode in OBS, so you can't see any auxiliary window. You can only see the main window Blender. So if I try to open like preferences, you cannot see that. I have to record like display capture mode for OBS to actually capture those, which is kind of odd. Okay. The display capture, you have to be extra careful with that because you don't want to dox your porn collection or something when you're especially when you're recording. When you actually do that, when you accidentally do that, you have to of course edit the video, and that could take a long time. Okay, so this will be the kind of like the I'm going to use random panel cloth here to actually create this part. Okay, so I'm just going to separate this. Okay, so that will be the cloth area. And I'm going to use randomization in this part. So I'm just gonna add a sufficient number of uh, resolution because you can in order for the randomization to walk these edges like that. So if you only have this long edges without this lateral edge, the randomization could only like create those long faces. So we want additional topologies for it to actually go to each of these directions, the horizontal and the vertical. So if you're aiming to have a low poly source mesh or the work mesh, you can just collapse this after you have created a randomized mesh. Okay, and in here as well, we're going to add just additional. You can see here instead of what's this look at a slide, because when I look at a slide and increase the number of cuts, you can see that it's slowly trying to adjust its shape to match the neighboring edges. So in order to have a straighter edge, I just loop, cut, and slide once in the middle, and then Control B to bevel, and then use the middle mouse cursor to add the additional what do you call this in bevel segments. So you can see that they're straight and they're not following this edge here, the shape of that edge there. Okay, but with this one, I'm just going to press E, and you can see the red dot here. That's following the shape of the edge there, so it's straight. Okay, and also this one. Okay, so I made it this way because the randomization is dependent on the topology of your mesh, meaning that uh, the shape of the edges will affect the shape of the panel cuts in the randomization. So we have, or I have isolated only the angled part here, so they wouldn't be. So if we were to create the edge using the loop cut and slide, we would have like panel cuts that is going in this direction right here because it's following the shape of the edges. Okay, so now let's go for just a bit of randomization, but not too much. Random panels, and so I'm going to make another video for the 3D printers out there, just to show you a method of closing the shapes when it comes to random panels. And wait a minute, what is this? Uh, oh, it's the shape of the randomized mesh. Okay, this one here, and increase the resolution. Okay, so there's something wrong with the orientation, so this is reversed. So we need to flip it. There we go. Because if it's flipped, the randomized mesh is actually being created in towards the inside of the mesh. So we needed to actually project like that. And I use this and toggle off even offset. So toggling off even offset will create those infinity spikes because of um, the sharp angles there. So we can either use even offset or cut split or wrap but selecting 90 degrees. But with this method, some seed values will still create the geometric spiking, but some will not. So we just have to actually choose like some, okay, choose a seed value that's not creating those anomalies. Increasing the depth, so the twisting. Maybe just even offset off or split 30 degrees. Okay, we'll just use split. Using the depth value. And this one, we're going to shade out smooth. So this one first. So in that, okay, I'm using the preselect add-on for that. So go ahead and download that in my Patreon. So also mirroring this X, Y, and then reusing the panels, adjusting the depth and then the distance. So I will be updating soon with the updated UI, and then we're going to increase this panel size to create more relaxed areas. There we go. And probably use uh, wrap since we don't have any sharp angles anymore. Okay, I think that looks good. Here, good as well. Just going to also shade out smoothness. Okay, this part here will be the panel cloth and uh, increasing the for the panel cloth also a mostly quad faces and their area or sizes are actually squarish. The more squarish they are, the better it is for the operator. Actually, let's uh, create some seams and okay, Control E. Not here. I think it's in W. Face loop selection. It's not here. Okay. F3. Select face loop. Oh, edge loops or edge rings. Edge rings? No. Edge loops. Oops. Edge loops. Select loops. Edge loops. There we go. And then I'm going to mark sharp this. So when I use funnel cloth, it will crease those mark sharp edges. Funnel cloth. And let's see. This one. There we go. So it can be hard to create wrinkles for something as basic as this. So we'll probably just, we can experiment away. And there we go. Probably just one. No subdivision and the post subdivision modifier, something like that. Let's see. We adjust the bake frames to something like 15 and increase the cut, something like 1. Oh, okay. Something like that. I'm not gonna remove the, okay, probably just remove it. Okay, so we have the handle, and now we can just, I'm going to append the material from the blend file. Cement shader, cement material, and then add it to this one here. Hide this and select everything, and then random vertex color, no saturation, and island, and then randomize and shift Q shading up in materials for this one here. Add the Rflow cloth, hide this, select everything again, assign material and Rflow metal. Okay, let's see the result. Okay, I'm going to change the HDRI, something more, something brighter. There we go. And this one, just using the shader, go to material, displacement, settings, and then displacement and bump. Okay. Cement material. Okay. Go inside and crease. So we're just going to adjust this setting here. 0. Scale. And the min max. Scale. There we go. And let's shade smooth this. Well, this is our blunt weapon. Okay, and this is our handle right here. Okay, this one, the texture is 0.5. Okay, We can actually like use the grunge note, the quick dirt grunge note to create some kind of blood effect. Color, mix color, and then group. I'm just gonna copy the one from the because already it already has this settings. Control C and then Control V, and then just multiply it here. Okay. Now we're going to use a striking color to know where it is, and then threshold. You can also affect the softness. Pick two, then affect the saturation. That offset is kind of like scale. Acts like scale in the mapping node, but kind of operates all of the axes. But you can also use it as a means to randomize the effect, the distribution of texture. Where's the threshold? There we go. Just a bit of bled. There. A bit more grime to the cloth and also affect. Oh, going to reduce the saturation here as well. Okay. Probably just go for something like okay, not blood, but just kind of moss. Okay, now let's create lights for the other topology or mesh. So creating like a triangle. Oh, that's fine. Add material. Emit. Change this to emission. Okay. That is to 20. Then we can just reuse that same shader all over the mesh. Draw some like this. Add assign material and then use the emit and control T of J to modify. You emit color should be used. in this part here. Some material emit. This could act as a flashlight. Okay, actually this is pretty light. So we're just using like a few subdivision to display um the placement. Okay. Now we can uh, use an empty to actually parent this all together. Shift G and then T to select the all the mesh types in the scene. Control P, parent it to the empty. And we can position it kind of like this way. And I'm going to create a floor here with a bunch of rock. A new, and then ground, Control Shift P. So you can see I'm looking for material, so but you can see the window that I just opened because OBS. Okay, muddy, uh, a dry mud field. There we go. Actually, I'm going to reduce the green part of this. There we go, and make it softer. There we go. Subtlety. And then I'm going to create a bunch of squares in this area. Not square, cube. So sometimes I just call the cube box or square. I don't know why. Never get to call it cube. It's always box or square. I'm going to try and join them together to see if this works and use quick displacement, utility, quick displacement, and uh, smooth 100 cuts, re-smooth, and strength, size. Let's see if we can affect the shape. Station. Big rate those racks. Fractal. Well, smoothness. Okay. And then we're going to use quick displacement. Basis. Reset this. Oh, no. 20. And adjust the strength or the size first. Make it bigger. Maybe I shouldn't have created a. Okay, let's separate them by those parts. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to use a bit of displacement. Okay. Oh, not that. Since we already have the settings, when we use the preset, I'm just gonna click this. Oops. Where's the smoothing? Okay, let's go back to this. And it actually works with multiple selections. So strength, size is 2. Nope, size is 1. And subdivision is something like 10. Okay, 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 don't randomize that. Got it. There we go. And then I'm going to select all this, shade smooth, and use the same material as this rock here. What material is this? Cement material. Okay. We'll shift same material and cement material. Okay. There we go. And this going to duplicate this material so it becomes its own copy. So when I edit this material here, it will only affect these racks and not this bludgeon part of the weapon or shader. Okay, scale. And there we go. Probably reduce the scale or the strength of the displacement. Now we have this. Okay, clipping the plane. As you can see here, it's clipping the plane. Um, we can actually just boolean this, but let's see if we can boolean this. Don't crush. Okay, it only can only boolean one particular object using the draw function, but uh, the boolean function itself can do multiple objects. So copying this and then hiding the original, and then uh, including this part here, checking the orientation, we calculate outside, and then running it off, selecting the rocks, and selecting the object, the Boolean object last. Control Shift X, Boolean objects, cut Boolean to active or Boolean to stopped or fast. Okay, others. There we go. And we have that. And can just hide that. There we go. Now all we need to do is play around with the lighting. We now have our model and you can just build your lighting and your other stuff. Okay. I think I'm going to reduce the AO of the shader of the rocks. So where's the cement shader? cement text. So AO strength is 0.4. There we go. 0 0.6. Okay. And this one as well. 0 0.6. So they're not too dark. Okay. And this one, the floor, I'm going to, what if we use the rock as well? Let's just try it. Cement material. There we go. And then duplicate the material so it becomes its own copy and is separate from the others. Scale. Oh, the scale of the texture is different from the. Let's add subdivision and switch it to simple. Let's see if the scale. There we go. I think the scaling actually displays in Eve now, so you can use it with Eve. And then the texture that comes with it is, well, let's see, it's shade smooth. It's kind of noisy. Okay. 0.5. It's probably because of the texture. 0.2. Delete this one. And strength is 0.2. And let's see about settings of the material. Okay, it's too noisy. It doesn't separate from the actual model, so we'll just use the the old one, the ground texture. Okay, now you can easily see the our model, but at least we tested. Okay, so what was I thinking? I was actually thinking of some other thing to test, and let's just adjust the light for some dramatic lighting. There we go. Oh, the Eve part. Okay, material preview. Let's see if the no, it doesn't. Oh, it does. Yeah, Eve can display the displacement now. So you can use the I think you can also use the thread panel, thread plates that I did in Patreon as well. Before the cement rock texture, which is this one, and use it for Eve. So right now, Eve can actually display displacement. Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and this shader, the rock shader, is for free in my Patreon. You just have to become a free member to get it. So you can mix hard. You can mix like sci-fi elements along with some grungy, organic design in your scene, and like this one. What if we remove the hammer? There you go. I will just be updating. When I update the shaders, I will just put it in the description. I will do version numbers and the changes that I did for them. So yeah, yeah, I think this is it. And okay, be sure to check out my Patreon and become a free member there, and check out the tools. And the link is in the description as well. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.